I did not know what time management was. They never end. They're constantly coming. You don't need to live in that stress. The goal here is not perfection. Quite frankly, I was just lazy. Hello everyone, welcome here. My name is Delilah if you are new, and today I want to share with you some healthy habits of how to better manage your time. These are habits that I have learned over the last almost 8 years of being a mother. Because when I first became a mother, I did not know what time management was. I did not know how to manage my time well. I remember feeling like I could never keep up with all of the dishes. I could never stay on top of all the house chores or the cooking. Here I was with one child wondering how on earth moms with 4 more kids could do it. So I've learned a thing or two over the last 8 years or so, and some of these habits that I'm sharing with you today I've been doing for years and years, and maybe you've heard me talk about them before. But some of the habits I'm sharing today are new habits because I am always learning, I'm always growing, and our family is constantly evolving. And so I've learned to adapt throughout the years and change up our schedules and routines and habits as we go. And I always love when I have the opportunity to glean wisdom from other mothers. So I hope this video is useful for you. You can gain some wisdom from me. And if you have anything to add to this conversation, please leave your comment down below. Let's use the comment section to learn from each other and build each other up. The first habit I want to share with you today is creating a cycle for continuous chores. This could be any chore that you find you're doing every single day and you feel like you're falling behind on. 2 big ones that stand out to me are dishes and laundry. Those 2 things, they never end. They're constantly coming. So in order for me to stay on top of those, I needed to create this flow, this cycle. You can completely customize your cycle to what works best for you and your schedule. But for us as a family of 6, our dish cycle looks like starting a load at the end of the day. Unless the dishwasher is almost empty, I will always start the load so that in the morning I can empty the load and it's ready for the day. Now we have a small dishwasher and I cook a lot, so that dishwasher fills up quickly and we are often starting another load after lunch. Then before I cook supper, I'm emptying the dishwasher again, filling it once more, and then starting it again before bed, and then the cycle just keeps on going. If the cycle stops for whatever reason, that's when the dishes start to feel overwhelming. So I do whatever I can to keep the cycle going. And the same thing goes for laundry. We do a load of laundry every single day except for Sundays because Sunday is our day of rest. So the first thing in the morning, I'm throwing a load of laundry into the washing machine. Then after breakfast, as the kids are doing their chores, I'm throwing that load into the dryer. And then after lunch, before we transition into the afternoon and quiet time, that is when I'm folding and putting the laundry away. And if I can manage to stay on top of that cycle, laundry doesn't feel like a big job anymore. The second one is a new habit that we've recently implemented and we've been loving it. It's made a huge difference in our home. You probably heard me talk about it already, and that is blessing time. This is a 5-minute time to clean up in our home. After lunch is eaten and our bellies are full, we're moving into the afternoon, into quiet time. Before we settle into afternoon activities, everyone in the home is involved in a 5-minute cleanup. 5 minutes doesn't sound like a very long time, but when everyone is working together to tidy the home, it goes really, really fast, and you would be amazed how much you can get done in that 5 minutes and how helpful your little ones can be. Depending on the day, I might assign a room to each child, or I might just say, go crazy for the next 5 minutes, picking up whatever you see and putting it away. We call this blessing time because it is a really good reminder for us that cleaning up, though it may not be a fun chore, really is a blessing to us and to others. We get to bless our home in this way. I absolutely love this. It has really helped make the afternoon feel so much easier and less stressful being in a clutter-free home. The goal here is not perfection. The goal is simply to quickly pick up some things so that we're not living in clutter, so that we can enjoy a more restful afternoon, not stepping over all of the toys. I love this one so much because it's so quick, it's so simple, but it makes the biggest impact. Habit number 3 is taking advantage of waiting time. When you become a mom, you realize that every spare moment is valuable. If you have 5 minutes while you're making dinner, that's a great opportunity to wash the dishes so that you don't have to do that later. If your kids are playing in the bath and they're safe where they are, well, that's a great opportunity to declutter the bathroom cabinet or wipe down the toilet. If you know you're leaving in 10 minutes and you don't really want to start anything until then, you can make sure that the diaper bag is packed, make sure everyone's got jackets, everyone's got shoes, everyone's ready to go. If I have like 10-15 minutes, I might even go like declutter the cutlery drawer or the snack bin, the dress-up box, like any small thing that might just need some organizing or decluttering. That's a great time to go and do those things. And in fact, in these 10-minute waiting periods is often when I find I am the most productive, because I'm tackling these odds and ends sort of jobs that I wouldn't normally think to do. I literally just look around me and think, what can I do right now? Like, how can I be useful in this moment? I even do this when waiting for appointments or at extracurricular activities. I'll bring my Bible and I'll do devotions, or I'll make a grocery list, or I'll get some work done on my phone if I can. Habit number 4 is to make decluttering a part of your daily life. What if I told you that you don't have to allow things to pile up and pile up and pile up until you start to go crazy and you purge everything? It doesn't need to be that way. You don't need to live in that stress. This can be something that's very easily done every single day. You don't even have to go looking for it. It can just happen really naturally, and that's how I've learned to declutter. There are times when I just need to like spend a day decluttering, but I have learned how to naturally declutter throughout my everyday life. And I do this by always having a donation bin or two on hand at all times. We keep ours in our storage room downstairs, but you can even keep it in a closet, under a bed, in the garage, wherever you have a spot for just a box or a bin where you can throw donations into. That way, when I'm getting dressed for the day, I notice a shirt that I haven't worn in a number of months and I feel like I could probably get rid of it, I can pull it out right then and there and throw it in the bin. If I am putting away laundry and I notice some of my kids' clothes are getting too small, I can just take it right then and there and throw it in the bin. If I'm cooking dinner and I see a dish I never use, I can take it out and throw it in the bin. That happens as I'm going about my everyday life, and it makes it so much more simple. When you have less unnecessary things laying around your home, you have less things to take care of and therefore more time. With 4 kids, things can pile up really, really quickly, so this is something I have learned to be on top of constantly. Habit number 5 is to fill up your cup every single day. This is so important for me. In order for my days to run smoothly, I need that quiet time, that time of solitude, time with the Lord, time without noise and stimulation going on around me. Time where I can just pray and restore my soul to be filled with His presence and His Spirit. This really helps get my heart and mind in the right place. It sets my focus heavenward, and I'm so much better able to handle whatever sort of chaos may come at me that day. It helps with my focus, it helps with my idleness, it helps with my mood, it helps with my attitude. I mean, just think how often Jesus would take time to just go on a mountain and pray and be with God in quiet, alone with His Father. If Jesus needed to do that, how much more do we as human beings need to do that? And I think this is especially true for mothers, because we are constantly helping our little ones. We're taking care of the home, we're taking care of our children and our husbands, and we're doing all these different things. We're needed in so many places at once. We need to take that time to get our hearts in the right place, to fill our soul, to fill up our cup, so that we can better pour into the lives of those around us. Habit number 6 is food prep. Now, this looks different for me in different stages of life. In my last pregnancy with Annabeth, I did a whole meal prep where I filled my freezer with freezer meals so that I wouldn't have to cook for a month. And this was amazing. It was one of the best things that I did in preparation for having my baby. It helped our days run smoother. I wasn't stressed because I wasn't worried about supper or trying to last minute do stuff. It was just there. I didn't have to think about it, and it was done. In this stage of life, I'm not preparing freezer meals so much, but I do always like to have things like baked goods, buns, bread, even snacks made and ready to go, because we do like to eat a lot of things from scratch. It saves us a lot of money, it's healthier for us, and so this is something that I strive to do. This can even look like washing and chopping veggies when you come home from the grocery store, so that you don't have to do that when you're cooking dinner throughout the week. Or when you're cooking, you could cook twice as much as you normally would so that you have leftovers for the next day. This is something I do all the time. This is how I grew up cooking. I make a large amount of food at supper so that lunch the next day is already covered. Makes it so much easier, helps our day flow really well, and I save myself a lot of time in the kitchen. Habit number 7 is to time block your days. I heard somewhere a long time ago that it takes 30 minutes to really get your brain involved in whatever task that you're doing. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know where I heard that, so please don't quote me on that, but I have learned that it is true for me, and so it is something that has always stuck with me, because I am someone who cannot focus on a lot of different tasks at once. I can't cook dinner and teach homeschool and also try and do some emails all at once. Like if I'm trying to do that all in the morning, it's not going to work. And so I've learned to time block my days. Grouping certain tasks into one time of the day really helps me stay focused on those tasks and get them done to the best of my ability. So for example, for us in a day, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. is usually school time. And so that is when we are focused on school. Then we have lunch, and then from 1 p.m. till about 4 p.m. is cleaning or work, whatever task I have allotted for that time frame. This is also when my kids have quiet time and cleanup time, so even their days are divided up into these time blocks. Then of course we'll have supper, and then from about 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. we have our family time. And that could look like whatever we want to do at family time. We might go out somewhere and go visiting, we might be home, but whatever it is, we're spending time together as a family, and then that way we know we're always getting that time together. There was a while that I was trying to do one house chore every single day so that it wouldn't all pile up for the weekend. And while this did work for that stage of life, I find that it was really hard to actually stick with long term, because I just need to be able to focus on one task at a time. And so for me, it actually works better to spend like a good afternoon or some time on Saturday just focusing on my home instead of doing a little bit every day. The last healthy habit I want to mention is one that I actually learned from one of you in the comment section. So this is a good example of how sharing your wisdom in the comments helps everyone out. I don't remember who said it, but the rule was that if it takes less than 60 seconds to do, just do it now. This sounds so simple, but it has really made all the difference. I'll admit I am someone who is prone to just kind of moving things to their general area, but not actually taking the time to put them all the way in their spot. I'm also known for just kind of leaving things in a pile. And so these piles just sort of start popping up all over my house of things that I just need to put away and haven't put away, or tasks I need to do and just haven't done because, quite frankly, I was just lazy. Of course, there's going to be times where we're rushing and we don't have time to complete the task at hand or to put something away properly. I mean, as a mom of four, I know that very well. But if I'm really honest with myself, I knew that most of the time it was more so a matter of me just being a little bit lazy rather than not having the time. This is one I'm very guilty of, and I apologize to my husband. So this is a great example. But if I'm taking the garbage out, I'll often just kind of leave it by the door and it just stays there until my husband puts it away. If I would just take 30 seconds to run it out to the garbage can, then it's gone and we don't have to deal with it anymore. If I'm gathering dirty dishes to put in the sink, instead of putting it into the sink, I might as well just put it into the dishwasher right away. That way I'm saving myself time later on cleaning up the dishes. This little habit has helped tremendously in keeping my home tidier in general, which therefore saves me time cleaning my home later and saves me time when I'm searching for something that I need, because I know that that thing is where it's supposed to be and it's not laying in a pile around the house somewhere. That is everything for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope that this was useful to you and that you learned something from this. Again, if you have any wisdom to share on this topic, please leave it in the comments. I would love to learn from you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.